For every cinematics release, we can see many reactions wanting MiHoYo to create a full animated series for Honkai Impact Third. Lately, there were pushes for this to become a thing, so if this adaptation were to happen, what could it look like? Animated series based on a video game are nothing new. Pokemon is one of the most famous examples. But not all adaptations were as successful though. Take Persona 4 the animation for example. Essentially, it's a faithful adaptation that have a questionable pacing and just plays out the same events but with an extra character added in. A lot of video games adaptations falls into these kinds of problems, basically retelling the same story without adding anything new to it. Why does this matter to Honkai? Okay, first we need to understand that movies we watch are a passive medium, while a game is not. We sit back, relax, and let the filmmakers tell a story. Video games, on the other hand, is an active medium, and although a writer still scripts the story, we often influence how the story unfolds at our own pace. This creates a different intensity of connection to the story. When we think back to a hype moment in a film, it was a result of how the story was crafted. However, when we think back to exciting moments in games, they're not the result of cinematics or amazing voice acting alone, as it's also about the experience that has to do with the player controlling the scene to overcome the odds, not the characters. Whether linear or open world, the player is the one who makes the moment happen. Take the first stage from Chapter 11 EX. We are instructed to survive while keeping this bar from going all the way up. This bar represents how close we, playing as Kiana, are to getting taken over by Sirin. If we were to fail, we get this screen. This forces us to put ourselves in Kiana's shoes, denying us from going bonkers and smashing up everything in front of us like we usually do on other stages. Through these visual feedbacks, these sequences strengthen our connection to the story in a way that films simply cannot offer. When we take away the interactivity of a video game, would we still then enjoy the storyline the same way as before when we are relegated to an outside spectator? But for all the potential difficulties the video game adaptation would bring, more success could be had for adaptation from the manga. This had already been done before in the case of Cooking with Valkyries. When reading the manga, we use our imaginations for stuff like how would a character sound like. That isn't the case for the animated adaptations, as it has actors lending their vocal talents to give life to a character. Music is the greatest benefit for the animated adaptation. It can be used to create intensity or to create a comedic tone. Honkai Impact have a lot of manga material, but by far the most popular one is Second Eruption. And this is what I believe to be the best case for a Honkai Impact animated series. This adaptation could bridge the gap for non-readers by the sheer popularity of animes today, along with serving as a decent introduction to the world setting of Honkai Impact. Honkai's story is one of, if not the best story I have seen in a video game, never mind a free one. It's unknown whether a project of this magnitude would work. But until then, it's up to us to let MiHoYo know that there are indeed demands for an animated series for this spectacular game. Considering I'm by no means a big channel, my voice will not go far alone. Down below in the description I left a link to other voices in our community, so I want you guys watching this video to go and support them. If we really want to see this become a reality, then let us together voice our passion to MiHoYo. Thanks for watching. Do you have any other concerns that I haven't mentioned? Leave them down below. I'd love to discuss it with you guys in the comments. Until then, see y'all later.